Welcome to 3 3/4 Thursday. We're taking a look at something else a little different. These are some vehicles that I personally had when I was younger, and so getting them in a 1/18 scale was a no-brainer for me. I had a Yamaha, and these are actually technically called wave runners. There are two different types of, well, we usually just kind of throw them into one word and call them jet skis. This is more of what we call a wave runner. It looks more like a motorcycle. This is a jet ski. A lot of people just call this a jet ski and call it a day. I understand, but sometimes you got to be really precise with your language when you're talking to people, or they won't really know what you're talking about. I've seen people on these, and they look a lot smaller in real life, and they probably are. This feels a little undersized to me because these are pretty big. It's like riding a motorcycle in the water, and it's a lot of fun. My brother and I used to have one back whenever we were kids, and I really do miss having one, but at the same time, life goes on. So the really cool thing about these Sea-Doos are they were made by the same people who make the adventure people. Like these right here, this is probably the guy that went with this particular one. He stays on the thing really well because he's got magnets in his feet, which is a really cool thing. I wonder where else I've seen magnets in the feet. Oh yeah, Microman. So that was something else I thought was fairly interesting. Now this particular jet ski was made in 2000, and it's made by Road Champs Incorporated. Now Road Champs probably are the same people who are making these modern things that you see at Walmart under the label Adventure Force or Adventure something. It changes from time to time. All right, so it's got all the little things on the side that you would do, I guess, if you're a professional. I was not a professional. I just did it for fun. I didn't have a wetsuit like that. The cool thing is that his goggles actually come off. His wetsuit does not. He's fairly articulated. As you can tell, he's got rotation, wrist, shoulders, or actually, what am I calling about it? Bicep swivel. He's got basically your G.I. Joe articulation all around. His hips are a little different. They got this weird thing going on right here where you can pinch them to make him do like he's, yeehaw, like it's a spring-loaded action thing. Let me see if I can get it into the frame. So when you pinch his levers right there, it makes him spread eagle. So he can be like, he jumps a wave and whee, and then comes back down because, yeah, I guess it's something you do. Again, mine did not do a stand-up mode. These also do a down mode like this. I guess you could sit on them. Again, I've never ridden one of these in real life. So I suppose this is one way to ride it. I do like the shark teeth. I think that's really cool. And then, of course, you can do it this way. All right, so the Sea-Doos, like this, they look very much the same. As far as I can tell, I don't see any different in the tooling. Just the paint job is different. They did at one time have a feature where when you push this down, it makes noises. That feature has been destroyed over the years of just not having batteries that are working. I haven't taken the batteries out of there, so I'm sure they're in there destroying all the stuff inside. Sea-Doo XP are trademarks of Bombardier and or its subsidiaries, Road Champs, made in China, of course, like everything. So here's the bottom of this one, and over here, this one as well. So these were made around the year 2000. They have steering mechanisms, which really don't do anything. And yeah, this one has okay, that's just, like I said, I've never ridden one of these, so that's a weird way of doing steering. But I guess it works. Another feature, okay, that's not a missile. We're not having attacks from other countries right now. You could take the compartment off to see the engine inside. I thought that was interesting, but for the longest time, this was in a different box from the rest of the Sea-Doo, and I finally got them together. Sometimes it just happens when you're moving stuff from one box to another, looking for that one thing. Like yesterday, I was really looking very hard for my old Super Joes. I thought for sure I knew where they were. I was wrong. Okay, I'm trying to see if this is the thing for this one. This one was pretty easy to take off, and I think I had another one too. So I got as many of these as I could personally. All right, let's see what other figures can go on these. Now, I think that's the Trash Man, but he comes on our road on Mondays. Today is Tuesday when I'm filming this. I know I'm going to be showing it on a Thursday, so if you're like, well, why is it on a Thursday? I think he just happens to be coming to a different neighborhood or something that's fairly close to us, evidently. All right, so you might have to get him to bend his knees a little bit, which is scary because I hardly ever get him to bend his knees. So it looks like his hands are not going to quite reach it and look like he's comfortable. He looks like he's going to, I guess his arms are just a little too small. Just don't tell Jason Momoa I said that. All right, so there is Aquaman on a jet ski, which is almost ironic. Let me look at his proportions a little bit more carefully because, yeah, I guess his arms are a little bit short because usually your hand comes a little bit farther down. You can usually rest your palm of your hand in the middle of your thigh. At least most people, I'm just saying, you may be the exception. His skirt's going to prevent him from doing it. Let's see if Janet Van Dyne, which is probably not going to be enjoying being in the water, if she can ride on the jet ski. Now, she's a little bit larger because the PEM particles backfired on her. These wings come off too easy on mine. All right. Yeah, she looks a little disproportionate for this. She's actually a little bit bigger than most the 3 3/4. She's actually 4 inches. Trying to get those wings back on. I have to do this off screen. All right, let's do another one. Let's see a bumblebee on a yellow jet ski. Or, well, his hands won't turn so he can grip the steering wheel. But it actually looks pretty proportional for him. All right, let's try Omex on a jet ski. So he can terminate. Oh, I didn't put the fist on him for the handheld thing. But I'm pretty sure he would be fine on that. Let's try one that most people don't think is a 1/18 scale figure line, but it was, and it was a really good line. Unfortunately, he can't spread eagle enough to get his legs around it, and so we're going to skip him. And then my favorite, Edison. Edison is my favorite Microman figure because he's green and he reminds me of Bug from the original Micronauts. So let's get Edison going. He's like, hey babes. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. And then of course on this one, I wasn't gonna take him off originally, but I thought, yeah, I wanted to show off the magnets of this. So yeah, we go. We got him holding on to the handles, and of course they will fit him. He's got the great proportionality, great articulation. He's like a kid being bounced up in the air. Yeah, I think that's probably not their thing in real life. There we go. His magnets are trying to keep him from floating up in the air because of the spring loadedness in this thing. All right, there he is riding on. And of course, he looks just right. Of course, the spring loadedness thing, it goes from here. Remember, it goes from here to here. And it's a spring loaded thing. And let's take a look at this figure one more time. He is very loosey, and not because of time or age or because he's a bad figure. They deliberately made him like this. You can have more fun with like having him do all kinds of crazy tricks. He's wee, like he's like woo, that kind of thing. It's almost like Woody from Toy Story, that kind of articulation. So, and again, I showed you how he does the hips thing. So I don't know if you've gotten these for your 1/18 scale figures, your 3 3/4 inch figures, but I would love to know if anybody else had actually bought these in the past. I know I had some more, but over time, they disappear. You know how that works. But other than just motorcycles, we have water motorcycles because, hey, I live at the beach and I love the water. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.